Round 2 of the World Cup is on the way, and we've had some eliminations, we've had some controversy, we've had some people who have already made it into the second round, and we've had some leg breaks as well. Horrendous leg break in the Canada game. Stick around for all that and my breakdown of it all. But before we do me a big favour and hit the subscribe button, especially if you're a returning viewer. It means you like what you're seeing, but you haven't hit subscribe. Hit the subscribe button and let's get into the video. So let's start with the results so far. First game, Czech Republic against South Africa. It was quite a boring game. I didn't enjoy it very much. It finished 1-1. Kind of was the right result for that game. We had Switzerland, who finally turned up with a 4-1 victory against Bosnia. It looked like they were struggling to score again, and then all of a sudden the goals came flooding in. A massive victory for Canada. They won 6-0 against Qatar, who did so well to hold Switzerland to a point. And unfortunately in that game, Ismail Kone broke his leg in what was a really nasty leg break. We hate seeing them. We wish him the best, but that didn't stop Canada from winning 6-0. Mexico, first team to qualify. They are the first team to qualify. They won 1-0 against South Korea. States are also qualified with a 2-0 win against Australia. The United States of America have been really impressive. We all know it's not their first sport. I mean, they call it soccer for one thing, but they have been really good and they have got some unbelievably athletic players. And I think they could be the surprise package of this tournament. Scotland, we're going to go into this game a little bit more in more detail, but they lost 1-0 to Morocco, who I rate really highly. And they were so unlucky not to get more out of that game. They did really well. They were plucky and determined, but we're going to get into that in a little bit. Brazil showed what Brazil are really like. I know they're really playing Haiti, but it was 3-0. It should and could have been more. Turkey have been eliminated from the tournament as well with a 1-0 loss against Paraguay. We also had the Netherlands thump Sweden 5-1. I thought they were a little unlucky, Sweden, to lose by that many goals. The Netherlands figured out what they had to do in that game. They used the wings brilliantly. 3 of the goals were like carbon copies of each other. And they had that tactic nailed and it got them 3 goals. There was another 2, of course, that made it 5-1. Germany beat the Ivory Coast. Really unlucky. Ivory Coast was so unlucky in that game. They rode their luck a little bit, the Ivory Coast, but I also think the Germans rode their luck a bit. But quality shines through in the end. We all know the best teams will win when they don't play the best, and they did it. They showed up and they grabbed the win at the death. Curacao held Ecuador. Ecuador, I thought were going to do better than this, but they've struggled in this tournament. They've struggled to score goals. They play some really good football, but the Curacao keeper kept them in the game and then got them a point in the World Cup. What a story for them. And Japan, who are looking really good, ended up winning 4-0 against Tunisia, eliminating Tunisia from the tournament. So to summarise, Haiti, Turkey and Tunisia are going home. They're packing their bags. They're on their way. Mexico, United States and Germany have guaranteed their place in the next round. So that's the summary of the football. But I wanted to talk about the Scotland game a little bit. I'm a big England fan. I never really support the home nations, haven't done for a little while. If you want to know why, check out the previous videos that I've done. I'll link it in the description just there. But the long and the short of it is they never support us, so we don't support them. And I was watching this game thinking, man, Morocco turned up against Brazil. They're gonna turn Scotland over, and how wrong I was. They got an early goal, a little bit of a lack of concentration. Morocco, of course, had their chances. What team doesn't in a game, especially when you've got the quality that Morocco have? But I think Scotland were every bit a part of this game. They could have scored in open play a couple of times. They were determined. They had their tactics right. I think Clark laid out his tactic, and I think they did it well. They weren't able to score, unfortunately. But what I will say is this. Some of the refereeing decisions in this World Cup, I just haven't understood, especially because we have the addition of VAR. I mean, we saw it in the France game, the Mbappe penalty. The reason they didn't give that penalty is they said Mbappe initiated the contact. Mental. Mbappe was running at speed. The guy slides in from the side. There wasn't a great deal of contact, I think, because Mbappe was trying to self-preserve and move out of the way. There was contact. It should have been a penalty. And I think the foul on McGinn and the foul on McTominay, I think it was McGinn. I'm pretty sure it was McGinn. He won the ball in the middle of the pitch and he ran through. I don't know how you don't give that. If it was just the shoulder to shoulder, you can understand it. You can go, okay, perhaps it was a barge. You can see why he would have interpreted that as a not a free kick or not a penalty. But he puts his leg across and trips him. And I just think when it's slowed down like that, it makes it look like it's not as bad, but it was at speed. He was running at speed. It should have been a penalty. And I think the McTominay one was even worse. But don't take my word for it. Let's have a little look at them here. Okay, I've got them ready. All right, so we're gonna have a little look. So this here is the first one. So he wins in open play and he's running down right here. And that for me there, that right there is a clear penalty. So the keeper's pointed for a goal kick. The Scottish players cannot believe it. I couldn't believe it as well. But I thought maybe the angle was wrong for me to see. But here it is again. He steps across him. And this last angle for me is the best one. So look, burns his arm and then it's the leg. It's that bit. You know, you can maybe argue he was on the way down. But I think for me, that's a penalty. I don't think how you can argue that that's not a penalty, and I think Morocco got really fortunate, not just in the game, but with the decision making like that. I think it was really, really poor. Let's have a look at the McTominay one here. Yeah, this is it. So that hard angle there, but I very quickly thought it was a penalty. McTominay can't believe it there. Again, a very similar one. If we go back there just really quickly from the beginning, if you look, it's a very similar one. Now, for me, I'm going to just slow it down just here. It goes right across him again. Now, I know what a lot of people think. I know people turn around and say the same thing. And that thing is, he went down a little easy. Well, forgive me. I've seen players not go down, try and stay on their feet, and they don't give free kicks and fouls for it. Now, for me, he'd got past the player. The player put his leg across his body and he stopped him from doing a thing that he was needing. Whether he went down or not, it's a penalty. It's a penalty for me. I don't care if they started going down themselves. I don't care if they started going down early. McGinn knew the contact was coming, you know, and I think it's arguable that he went down early. You could argue it, but I think it was a penalty. But for two to be missed like that, and for them not even to go to VAR, get the ref over. Get the ref over to our VAR. Just went, no way, not a penalty. And I don't want to say this. I don't want to sound like this, but it does feel like they were against the Scottish. I don't know. Listen, I'm not in the Scottish camp. It doesn't matter to me whether they go out in the first round or in the semi-final. I think it was a penalty. I think they should have looked at it via. I think they should have asked the ref to go and have a look at it and make a decision. But what do I know? Let me know what you think in the comments. Was I right about the penalty decisions? Let me know if Mbappe should have had one. Let me know if McTominay should have had one. Let me know if McGinn should have had one. I think they should, but what do I know? Hit me up in the comments and don't forget to hit subscribe.